Hey guys, Warchild V1 here with a little tutorial video of how to put together a video. So, I use Windows Movie Studio Platinum 12. This is what it looks like when you open it up. Step 1, start a new project. When you open it, it usually asks, and I'm just going to name this How To. And now we have a project named How To. So you go to Import Media. First step is import some clips. I'm just going to import about 5 of them just so you can see. Just highlight as many as you want. I hold the Shift key, that way it'll highlight everything in between these two. So there's 5 clips. I'm going to import all 5. As well as a intro. Let's go grab the intro. I keep an intro video inside my videos folder. I have a ton of videos here. Alright, step 1. Drag your intro. If you use an intro, put it down there. You definitely want it to be there if you use it. Step 2, I click the bottom and click the top, holding Shift right now. Therefore, it actually highlights all of them. Drag them down here and put them where they go. Alright, we'll pretend that this is my full 20-30 minute video that I always do. Alright, so you have to go examine each clip. If you do it my way, I record each fight individually, basically. So you have to scroll and figure out where the fight actually started. Because you do get a lot of junk in there also. Alright, wait, we got someone. That's probably what this bump right here is, this audio bump. Let's see. Yep, that's when I got somebody. I'm going to hit delete. So that deletes everything I just highlighted, which is most of this clip. But that's okay, because we're going to leave the fight in here. Use the mouse wheel to zoom in, zoom out. It's that simple. Alright, I'm going to highlight the end of it. Alright, I beat him, I bowed, and I'm going to leave that highlighted and hit delete, because I cut out everything except for the fight, me bowing, and that's it. So then we move on to the next clip. I do this about 20 times or so. I usually import between 20 and 25 clips. We got a guy with DMB. Get to the beginning. We'll just say that's the beginning. Cut off the end where there's nothing going on. Looks like I beat up the guy using Dark Moonblade. Alright. Now, you have a choice. You can either sit the clips side by side, like so, to where they're not blurred together, to where it just goes from one to the next, or you can scoot it over until that pink shows up right there. See the pink down here at the bottom by my little mouse hand? That pink means that you're like perfectly blurred, I guess. That way you can make it all uniform. So watch. Now it blurs into the next scene instead of just appearing there. That's how I do it. Some people do other changes between scenes. I personally have never actually dabbled in that. So I'm showing you what I do. I've had so many people just ask how to do this. So not this specifically, but some people want to know how to use Sony Movie Studio, and this is how I use it personally. I just cut my clips, which I'll be done with here shortly. I do this all the time, as you know. Cut my clips. Find the end of the fight. And cut off the junk. Alright, last clip. We're going to pretend that this is a regular 30-minute video. Like what I always do, but you don't have to wait for me to do every single thing. Look at this, I lost. I lose plenty, guys. Alright, there we go. So I lost at the end of this video. I'm going to blur them together. Got that little pink area, so that way when we play this, it'll blur from one to the next. Great. Alright, so once you get all your clips in there put in here, I got my intro, I got all my clips. Once they're here, then you're good to go with that part. So, now I always click the save button. It's saved. Scroll to the top. I go to the top area where it says text right here. I like to click and then right click, and then I choose Insert Text Media. This is how I get my name in the top corner. I actually have it saved right here to where if I click that, it puts it there for me. But here's how you do it from scratch. You highlight where it says sample text. You write whatever you want to say. Warchild V1. you highlight it again. Make sure it's highlighted before you go changing stuff, or it's not really going to change it. I'm going to go to 14 font, and then I'm going to change this to the font that I always use, which is called Feast of Flesh. That may not be on your computer. If it's not, it's a free download on the web. Just look it up. Feast of Flesh. Alright, once you have it, you can move this wherever you want until you close this window. Once you close this window, it's locked into place. You can't move it. You can't do anything with it. The way you get it back is you find where you right-clicked and added it. And right here, this little generated media, you can open that and then you can scoot it around wherever you want. That's where we want it, though, for the sake of this video. Now, see what happens when you put your mouse on the very edge? See that little, the way it turns into a box? You can do that, click and hold, and drag it to make it bigger. So what I do is I fill it to the end, zoom out, fill it to the beginning other than the intro. There we go. Now it's going to say Warchild V1 across the top through the whole video. I like it to be see-through, though. So, in the very center is this little teal-looking, I don't even know what to call it, this thing. When you get the pointer, it says opacity. You can click and hold and drag it down. You can make it completely see-through where you don't see it, or you can make it solid. I put it a little below half. That way, in the top corner, it looks pretty. Alright, so now anywhere in this video, my name's there and it looks pretty. So, you know, I like to add effects. I always add the smoke effect and the explosion and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and add some effects. Let's go to Import Media. I keep my effects on the desktop. There's a pack called Action Essentials 2. Look it up. If you download that, you can get all sorts of cool effects. I use it just to add my explosions and my smoke and all that. Let's try Fireball at Cam 3. I'm not sure what that one looks like. Import, Action Essentials, Smoke. Now let's get the smoke that I always use at the beginning of the video. That's Wisp 7. As well as, let's get the explosion sound, or else you have an explosion with no sound. Sound effects come with this pack. I'll do explosion far. There's only a few explosion sounds. Alright, so let's start at the beginning. Let's add smoke. So, let's drag it down to here and let go. Now we have smoke. The only thing is, it's just a video with a black background. It's all up in our way. We can't see what's going on. So here's what you do. We make everything that's black in this whole bar where it says video overlay. Everything in this bar that's black is gonna be see-through. And here's how we do that. Go right here to Track Effects. We are going to add Sony Chroma Keyer. Right here. Add, then OK. Now I have a preset that I made myself. I just named it black. But all you do is click here with color, bring it down to the black. That makes everything black see-through on that line. I always bump up the threshold just a little and the blur amount. You can play with these yourself if you're doing this stuff, and you'll see the differences really. It looks just right for me whenever I do this. Now that that's done, look at this. We have see-through background with smoke. Only problem is it doesn't quite fit our screen, does it? So, next step is, right here is Event Pan and Crop. We're going to pan and crop. We want to change the aspect ratio of this to 16:9 widescreen TV aspect ratio. When we click that, it makes it all fit for this. Look at that. Now I have smoke at the bottom of the screen like everyone's used to. So, next step. Click it, Control C for copy. Click at the end of it, Control V, Control V, 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 V. Doesn't matter. I always do it a few times. I click and hold each one. I drag it until it gets that little pink bar there just to kind of blur them together. So that way you can't tell when one smoke is ending and the next is beginning. I'll show you what I mean. We'll click right here and click play. See, the smoke just kind of blurs into itself. That blurs them together. So there's that. Now that I've made my smoke, I'm going to click the end, hold shift, click the other end that highlights all. Control C. That will copy all of those. Alright. I'm going to zoom out, go to the end. I'm not going to add the smoke quite yet. First I'm going to add the explosion. Here's the explosion. So it's right here. Play. Alright, so we got an explosion. I like to blur this. Here's that fade out offset I was talking about. If you put your mouse in the top corner of one, it turns into this little icon. If you click and hold, you can drag it, and that makes it fade out. So instead of it just going solid black real quick, it fades out. That's what that is for. Now I'm going to zoom out so I can add my smoke. Control V. Alright, we just pasted the smoke. Now I'm going to fade out the beginning of the smoke so it kind of fades in like this. Like so. And at the beginning of the video, let's fade out the smoke so it fades out like so. Alright, so the smoke fades in, the smoke fades out, and we have an explosion at the end with no sound yet. That's not the explosion. Here's the explosion with no sound. So that's pretty cool. So now what we're going to do is add sound to our explosion. Let's click right where the explosion starts, right there. That's the clip. Scroll down to audio. Any of the bottom ones are audio. Explosion far is the name of our audio for this. So I'm going to line it up to where now when we hit play, we got sound. Not too shabby, huh? Alright. Then you can go through and add your music, which, I mean, you should know how to do that. If you don't, you import media, you go to music, you find your music. I'm going to just grab Dark Souls, Dark Souls. Let's just say Lord Gwyn. Alright, now we have Lord Gwyn music. You can click the end of it and drag it, and it actually just copies the beginning and starts over. So there's the music. So now we have Lord Gwyn music. Awesome, right? Not too bad. And at the very end of the video, you can fade down the music so it sounds like it's actually over, even if the song's not quite over. Boom! There you go. That's how I piece together a video. I do it pretty quick. I'm used to just flying through these. That's my way of piecing it together. Now, let me show you my rendering settings. Oh, and again, here's my name at the top. Let's make it to where it goes to the end of the explosion, because it did not. Now, at the end, my name goes all the way through, even after the video clip is done. Okay, so now that we've added all of our effects, we've added our music, this is where I would record live commentary. I click where I want to record it, click the record button. That arms it for recording. Then all I have to do is click this and it'll start recording, which I don't need to do because I'm already recording my voice. You hear me right now. So, let's move along. Next step is make sure you click save every once in a while, or else you're going to be in trouble one day. Project Render As. So I have a setting right here that says YouTube 720. This does not come built in. I will show you how to create YouTube 720. So here we go. Let's show my favorites only. That's why that's there, and that's the only thing there. Let's uncheck that. So it no longer only shows favorites. Here's what you will see when you come here. So what we're going to do is find Windows Media Video 11.wmv. Pick this, and then pick 3 Mbps megabytes per second video. Once you click it, click Customize Template. Alright, everything in this first page is good. That's just fine. Let's go to the second tab, Video. Alright, right here is starting to look a little cheap, DVD quality. Let's bump this up to 1280 by 720. That way, the output file of this will be 720 high def. Aspect ratio, make sure it's 1. Frames per second. My PVR personally records at 30 frames per second. Some are at 29.9. Mine's at 30, so keep mine at 30. Video smoothness versus sharpness, I always bump it up to sharpest. Make it pretty, you know, if you're going to do it, make it look good. Next tab is bitrate. Here, 3 meg is just fine, that's what I use. Index, I don't worry about anything here. And under project, video rendering quality, best. Always best. Why not? Why wouldn't you do best? So then at this point, we can click up here at template and rename it to YouTube. Type 720p. That makes it look pretty. Then click the save button. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. After you've done that, when you scroll down, that will be in the same section as Windows Media Video 11. It'll say YouTube 720. it'll look just like this. Check the little star there, and that makes it a favorite. Then when you put a check here that says show favorites only, then that's all you ever see every time. You just click it and click render. It's that simple. You make your video, click render as, click YouTube 720 and render. Render loop region only. All right, here's the trick. Right now my loop region is this yellow. What you got to do is click the end, drag to the beginning. You got to make these go all the way to the ends of the video, because it's only going to render what is in between the two yellow markers, this one and this one. So you want to make sure it goes all the way to the end of your video, like so, and all the way to the beginning of the video, like so. Then you render. That's one step I forgot to tell you. So that's how you put together a Warchild V1 video, and starts off looking like this. Hey guys, Warchild V1 here with another Dark Souls PvP video. No, that's just me talking. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial here of how I put together a video. Hopefully it's useful to somebody. Just kind of threw it together real quick. Also, you can save this template as well. I named mine this. Whenever I do it, it automatically pulls up my name for me just like so. But name all of your customizations. That way you can just go back and use the customized version that you've already made. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this little how-to video. Please comment, like, and sub, and I'll keep my videos coming to you, man. See you on the next one.